Welcome back to Montana this morning, everyone. The time is 6:45, 28 degrees in downtown Billings on this Thursday morning. Things looking pretty dark out there as we get our day going. Well, we begin in downtown Billings this morning where a driver is dead after crashing his car, wrapping it around a tree. It happened just before 1:30 this morning near 6th Avenue North and North 30th Street. The Billings Police Department updated the crash as fatal just before 6 o'clock this morning. The department tells us the 38-year-old Billings man was driving west on 6th at a high speed when he lost control and hit a tree. The driver was trapped and had to be extricated from the car. Emergency crews performed CPR on the man at the scene, and he was taken to Billings Clinic. 2 lanes of westbound traffic on 6th Avenue North at 30th have reopened, but police are still on scene investigating. Near Superior, a semi-truck driver died while another fell to his death after a pileup on an icy Interstate 90. 2 other people were hurt Wednesday morning, including a firefighter who stopped to help. The crash shut down both lanes of the interstate for much of the day. Montana Highway Patrol Trooper Terry Rosenbaum tells MTN the 5 semi-trucks involved all jackknifed on the icy road. The chain of events started just after 4 o'clock Wednesday morning in the eastbound lanes. Authorities tell us the first semi-truck was hauling a flatbed piled with lumber. The driver lost control, spilling lumber and completely blocking the eastbound lanes. A second semi-truck tried to avoid the first crash and careened through the median, completely blocking both westbound lanes. Witnesses say that driver thought he was going to get hit by westbound traffic, so he jumped over the bridge guardrail to what he thought was safety. But MHP said the driver was unaware that on the other side of the guardrail was a 100-foot drop, and he fell to his death. The driver of the third semi-truck was partially ejected when he crashed into the pileup and was airlifted to Kalispell. The driver of the 5th commercial vehicle slammed into the other wrecked semi-trucks and was killed in the collision. Adding to the tragedy, the Frenchtown fire officials report one of their firefighters slipped and fell some 40 feet over a bridge deck. He was rushed to the hospital with serious injuries. A district court judge overturns a decade-old case ruling in favor of the city of Billings. Previously ordered to pay more than $2.5 million, the new ruling finds the city properly paid police officers and they aren't owed any more pay. In 2009, 28 Billings police officers filed a suit alleging the city had underpaid them for years by miscalculating longevity pay. But Dawson County District Judge Olivia Reiger determined the city of Billings did properly calculate the officers' pay consistent with their union's collective bargaining agreement. In the original trial, the city was ordered to pay $2.73 million. The city appealed and the case moved all the way to the Montana Supreme Court. In August of last year, the state's high court sent the case back to district court, ruling that additional contract language was not considered in the original decision. Union attorneys have not said if they plan to appeal. Some scary moments along the Yellowstone River in Lockwood as wind fanned the flames from a house fire. It happened along Charisse Road, right across the Yellowstone River from Metro Park Wednesday afternoon. Initial reports indicate the fire engulfed a motorhome that was occupied at the time. Flames shot high into the air and high winds pushed the fire onto nearby trees and close to fuel trucks. The cause of the fire is under investigation. Wednesday's strong gusty winds also had an impact on surrounding counties. Crews got control of a 258-acre fire that was fueled by the wind in Muscle County. The fire is contained, but crews will remain on scene for the next few days. Wind-fueled fires also broke out in Rosebud and Carbon counties, but we're told that those fires are also contained. Crow tribal members are learning more about a controversial case the U.S. Supreme Court will hear at the beginning of the year. A Crow man says an old treaty gives him the right to hunt on public land in Wyoming. The American Civil Liberties Union told tribal members the ruling will not affect hunting on the reservation. The case involves Claven Herrera, who was cited for hunting elk in the Bighorn National Forest in Wyoming without a license and out of season. Herrera did not attend Wednesday night's forum, but the ACLU says he believes hunting is lawful under the 1868 Treaty of Fort Laramie.
With Crow tribal members, we do still have those hunting rights because of this treaty, and so he has been practicing his right as a Crow tribal member to hunt for his family and provide for his family. That is our original, part of our original territory, our original land base.
The U.S. Supreme Court is scheduled to hear the case Herrera versus Wyoming on January 8th. The court is expected to release its decision in the spring. Meanwhile, the former Miles City postmaster learned his punishment for his role in a conspiracy to distribute meth through the mail. 59-year-old Stephen Miller was sentenced to 5 years probation and fined $2,500. U.S. Attorney Kurt Almy said Miller admitted to using his position to warn drug suspect James Toms that police were monitoring his mail. Miller also intercepted a package with 4 ounces of meth and delivered the package to Toms in exchange for 1 ounce of the drug. Toms was sentenced to 8 years in prison back in April. Well, car thefts are a big issue in Billings. In just the last week, there were 11 reports of stolen vehicles within city limits. But what if you could install a device to track your car? One such gadget is called Hum, and it's flying off the shelves this Christmas. This is what Hum looks like, a small box that connects directly into your vehicle, and it's putting a lot of people at ease. We checked the Billings Crime Tracker map and learned in the last month, 99 cars were reported stolen. People who have invested in the device already say they've seen it in action and it works.
So we had a couple guests come in. They'd only had it for a little over a week and their vehicle was stolen. It luckily was just some kids who were messing around, but it was 2 streets over, parked on the side of the road. And we may have looked for that forever, right? But they just had to open up the app on their phone and it was located within a minute. Cellular Plus employees tell us Hum isn't just for car thefts. It can also track mileage, alert you about servicing, and is great for parents. There's a feature called Boundary Alert to notify you if a driver in your family has traveled beyond a specific area. Montana Governor Steve Bullock was back in Billings this time to announce a $2.2 million federal grant to establish a pediatric psychiatry helpline. The line will give primary care workers across the state access to a psychiatrist in short order to get more immediate input on certain patients. Dr. Eric Arzubi, chair of psychiatry at Billings Clinic, and Governor Bullock both spoke Wednesday morning about how this program will be a step forward for mental health services in Montana.
We do have some great child psychiatrists in this state. How can we leverage their know-how and make it more available to people across the state? We're essentially going to mirror and copy a model that already exists and already works, and that is to give primary care access to a phone number, and they'll get a child psychiatrist on the phone within 15 to 30 minutes.
You might think, okay, this is just sort of the proverbial ribbon cutting. But so much more than this, because what it's doing, every time that I've had the good fortune to be part of one of these, is that we know that it's just a start to fundamentally impacting people's lives.
The line is set to be up and running in October. Meanwhile, more news surrounding the bankruptcy of Westmoreland Coal. The Houston Bankruptcy Court this week gave its okay to the company's request to pay $243 of its mid-level managers' retention bonuses in an effort to stem employee attrition. That approval, in spite of union protests that claim the same time the company is paying bonuses, it's trying to reduce many of the benefits promised to its miners. In Montana, the company owns and operates the Rosebud Mine at Colstrip, along with the Savage and Absalka mines, and also owns the Kimmerer Mine in Wyoming. Westmoreland also disclosed to the court this week that it does not anticipate repaying the company's unsecured debt that includes $334 million in medical benefits for Westmoreland retirees, $41.7 million in pension obligations, and another $21.8 million in black lung compensation. The company's court filings estimate its unsecured debt ranges between $740 million and $930 million. In October, Westmoreland filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, listing more than $1.4 billion in debt. As part of its restructuring plan, Westmoreland told the court that reducing its legacy labor cost is crucial for the company to emerge from bankruptcy protection. And wrapping up our news on this Thursday, it turns out that money can buy you happiness, that is, if you live in Billings. Money Magazine has named Billings the best city in Montana on its annual Best Places to Live list. The magazine says Billings has great city conveniences and a vast natural landscape, along with several notable attractions, including the Yellowstone Art Museum and Zoo Montana. The ranking considers everything from the cost of buying a home to the city's median household income. The magazine says that with a median
median household income of $58,000 and a median home listing the price of $255,000, living in the state's most populous city is very much affordable. That's